Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. How's it going? Hope you all have smashed the market today. We personally actually didn't trade anything today, and mainly due to emotions. I'm going to talk about it all in today's video. I saw a few setups, didn't pull the trigger, and yeah, really disappointed with that. Feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. Much more, alert, upbeat. Done some pre-market preparation as such. I went to the gym, I had some decent food, just rested beforehand, so really important to do that if you're not doing it. Yesterday's was a prime example. If you're not prepared, then you're setting yourself up for failure, and that's just not in trading, that's probably everything you do. But yeah, so I'm feeling a lot more refreshed today, but I think because of the emotions, because of the loss yesterday, I think that played a big role in today's sort of emotions. Just didn't pull the trigger. It wasn't easy today. It's not like we had amazing moves from all different stocks and momentum flying everywhere. We had a bit of momentum on one particular stock, MTFB. That made a decent move in fairness, and it was on the pre-market watch list. But yeah, let's get into today's video. So there was a few we was keeping an eye on. There was a few we was keeping an eye on pre-market, but just nothing really happened. Solo was one of them to start with. The main one we was looking at was MTFB. So this stock was gapping up, as you see here, from around the $2 and had a pre-market high of basically $3 there, and it started to sell off, which wasn't good. But then, as you see, it started to curl round. So this was becoming pretty much one of my main watches on the for the open. So one of my main watches pre-market, and just before the open, you see here the high of basically $3. So we've got like here $2.98. You see, just pre-market here, it just broke that. So I didn't really have any actual concrete plan for it out of the gate. So I wanted to see how it's reacted. If it made a massive sell-off, so it was up to 290. If it made a big sell-off down to sort of the 250 area, I might have bought a washout sell for the pop. That's probably the only thing I was looking to do. I actually wasn't, because it made this break of free pre-market right before the open here. I wasn't too interested in looking to actually go long. But when it did go long, it was pretty hard to get into it straight away. There was a nice pullback here. So you see here, market opens right here. All the volume comes in, makes this great move from the 320 area up to, like the 385. So it makes an absolutely insane move. You could have chased this maybe at 350 area, look to sell for pop. But obviously, once this makes this big move, all these green candles, I'm looking for the pullback. We get a sort of a micro pullback here. I say micro, I mean, we've got like a 385 down to 360, so it's a decent little pullback. You definitely could have bought the dip, sell the rip as such there. So that was definitely one of the entries, but that wasn't really my first entry I was looking at. Once again, it was sort of starting to get this resistance. It makes a high here of what is that? Exactly $4. And you see it taps $4, and then it closes, and then this one here opens up high, it taps $4, and then this sells off right down to right down to this 360 area again. So that was definitely the first entry we could have took. It's made a 40-cent drop right down to a previous resistance of the previous support of this candle here, which is 360. So we could have brought the around the 360 area, sell below the 350 area, so we're risking 10 cents, and we would have got a nice pop back up to $4. So that was definitely one I missed. It was quite quick, so I'm not overly disappointed, but there's definitely a couple entries there. Then we get the break of 4, which was good. It was pretty hard to know. I'm pretty confident we were always going to break 4, so you definitely could have bought the entry of 4. But once again, right now, I'm not looking to do these sort of break the high of day or break resistance sort of entries right now. So where was my first trade that I could have placed? And this is the one I saw right here. So let me just see if I draw a line. So we get a horizontal line right here. So you see how basically if I can move this, it's not the easiest to use here. So basically it says 374, but if you look at like the lower the candle, select mode, oh no, yeah, it was select mode, anyway, you see here the low was actually 375 there, low here was 376. So what happens, we get this we get this high of day, and then we get a washout from 420 down to 375. And 375 is a kind of support area. So main support is $0.50 and whole dollars, so $4, you know, 450. But people do use sort of the quarters as well, so the 25s to 75. So we get one touch, two touch. We get a big washout, so that's almost you know, it's 45-50 cent washout down to 375. Definitely saw that, didn't pull the trigger. I did kind of think it was sort of the backside of the move now, and I was kind of right in that retrospect, but still no reason. We got a nice drop down to previous sort of support. 375, like you said, that quarter, and we got a nice pop all the way back up to almost $4 there. So we definitely would have made, definitely could have got a decent little winner there. And this next one right here, we definitely could have done it again. And this was the second one, which was straight after. Once again, these are a little bit more risky, but if we look here, if I bring this down, this touches pretty much 350 exact. I know it says there, but if you see, it actually had a low of 351. So once again, almost $4 down to 350, half dollar support, 40 cent, over 40 cent drop, and we get a nice pop up back up to 380. So not the easiest, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself, but definitely there are some opportunities. Once again, we had this candle here, we could buy the dip, sell the rip. We had the breakout of 4, which I'm not overly fussed about that. Yeah, we could have bought the break of 4, but you could have bought the break of 4 here and failed. You could have bought it here and failed. You could have bought it here and failed. It just happened. This was the one, so it's hard to always time it. But this was the one that would have been good, and we got a nice little pot there. But it was these two that I saw. We got the big washouts. That's what I like. We got to previous sort of support areas of the previous candles and at that $0.25, so that 375, and then we got the $0.50 hold there, and that was two entries that I definitely missed. And so after that, just disappointed. And as you see, it's just sold off after that, and not a lot going on there. And to be honest, that was all it was. So it's definitely a bit of a slow market. I was just about to it's popped up even higher now. I was actually just about to do this video about 20-30 minutes ago, and Solo starts to make this big move. Solo was one we was watching pre-market. There we go, planning mode. You see it sort of gapped up from the 350 area up to 430. It's sort of, you know, just churning a bit, and then at the open it made a decent move. You definitely could have bought, it sold off a bit, which was sad, but you definitely could have bought sort of a pre-market pivot here of 412, looked to sell at the high of day of 430. So that was sort of one entry, not the easiest, but then it starts to sell off. So everything went dead in the market, but then it had a new lease of life. You see here, it wasn't until about 10:06, so we're already 30-40 minutes into the market. It starts to grind up. This is where I'm keeping an eye on it here, and I just couldn't get any really clean entries, and then it starts to sell off, and I thought, okay, that's the end of it. And then since doing the video, it's now made this crazy move, pullback. So yeah, not the easiest day. I'm not going to trade anymore now. Well, I didn't trade anyway, so I'm going to stop once I do this video. And yeah, that was pretty much it. There was one that come up on the scanner, FCSC. This one, I actually saw a couple of opportunities. I saw an opportunity on this one, but it was just so difficult. Come up from the scanner, it's made a really good move from 220 up to 280. But it's just here. It had a slight spread, which is unusual for smaller pricing stocks. But what was really awkward about it, it was just moving. Even it had kind of volume here, you know, 350,000, 300,000. It was just still moving very slow, very weird. And what we did get here, we got the VWAP bounce. Oh, that was the other thing to mention, actually. On this 350, on MTFB, on this 350, you see here 350 $0.50 and the VWAP bounce there. So you see we get this overextension. That's why I don't really like buying this breaks, because it's so overextended over the VWAP. But you see we get the pullback down here. It's just 375. That was definitely an entry. And then the second one was almost from 4 down. It touched not just 350, which is $0.50, but bouncing off the VWAP, which is perfect. And these are the charts I use. So that was the other thing to keep in mind there. That would have been a solid entry, even though it's a bit risky because it's starting to look like the backside of the move. But we've got sort of a bit more confirmation on the VWAP and and the $0.50. So yeah, I was just basically a pussy and didn't press the button. So yeah, same thing actually happened here on FCSC. You see here, it's just not easy. There was a bit of a spread. It was, you know, these wicks on the top of the candles and below the candles, but it was making these breakouts, and it made this breakout here, broke the $3, made a move up to 28, and we see here we've got a move from here from 316 all the way down to 84, and it bounced off the VWAP. It did actually bounce off the VWAP again, so it's good to see that even on this price action, sort of how the stock was moving, because I know this is a solid candle, but it was just sort of moving very, very slow. We want a big flush so we get the pop very quick. Yeah, it was just moving very slow, really, really awkward. So I wasn't interested, but it's good to see that even in those type of movements, we still get the bounce of the VWAP. And the VWAP here, it was, for some reason, the VWAP here is different to the one on TC2000, but on FCFC, I think it was pretty much the same. FCSC. Let me just open this up. Yeah, you see here, not too bad. Maybe it didn't bounce off exactly here, but yeah, as you said, that was the low there. Once again, the low was 86, and it made a move back up to 3. So it was a really hard one. I said not really interested in that, but it made a move. It made that tiny little bounce, so maybe that's a good thing just to keep an eye on it on these slower moving stocks. And that was basically it. So missed opportunities. Well, not the easiest market to trade. I know quite a few traders today lost money, or were up and they gave it away. So it's just an indication. It's definitely weren't the easiest market today to trade. If you're green today, you've done very well done. And yeah, I think the main thing was the emotion of having two red trades yesterday, not being in the zone, and even though I'm feeling a lot better today, I think that affected me. You know, I think sometimes when you want so much to get that green trades, because you just had red trades, you don't want to get another red trade, then maybe I'm a bit more hesitant. So something to work on, and as they say, managing emotions is sort of the biggest challenge to trading once you know all the strategies. So anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you as always, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.